Hi, folks, I'm Scatman John. Yeah, I've only been Scatman John for a short time since I became a pop star. Quite a phenomenon to happen to a man who's 53. Let me take you back. Let me tell you how all of this all got started. I've been stuttering since I've been speaking. Scatman is a success because I stutter. That's some of the stuff I'm trying to tell to the kids today, and I think that answers a great deal of perhaps, at least partially, why Scatman has become so successful. And I said, man, I got to find some other way to talk because my stuttering at that time was so severe. I had to find some other kind of a language to speak with. So I took right to jazz like a duck takes to water. And that's when some of the occupational hazards first began to show up. The drinking and the drugs and all of that. And my stuttering at that time was still very severe. I had a very troubled childhood because of stuttering. And so he went on and on and on. And I kept playing jazz, and I kept drinking. I played most of the jazz clubs in California at that time, and my drinking kept increasing and increasing. By 1985, I'll cut to the chase, I had nearly demolished myself physically, mentally, and spiritually with the chemicals. However, my wife and I decided to come to Europe. We came to Europe in 1991. First city that we hit was Berlin, and it was culture shock to the maximum for the two of us. And we survived it, and we got through. And it was there where I first met the man who is responsible for the concept and idea and footwork of Scatman. His name is Manfred Zeringer. Manfred called me and asked me about the concept of scat rap. He said, "John, please don't kill me, but I have an idea, and I've already talked to your wife about it." So, I mean, if he talks to my wife, she's going to come in the back door and say, do it. So we did it. He called me. He brought up the idea of scat rap. I said, yeah, sure, scat rap. I didn't think it was possible to blend the two of them. And the first name that came to me was Scatman. I went into the studio. They gave me an F minor beat, and that's all I had, just that beat. I sat down and I scat sang for like 4 hours straight, every imaginable phrase, and on and on and on, every sound imaginable. We scat sang for 4 hours, and I put some rap down that I had put out on the Joe Farrell album earlier years. And I went home, and I had no idea what was going to happen. 3 weeks later, they sent me a tape, and it was Scatman. I'm the Scatman! And it blew my mind. My first experience into the pop scene. Now, I heard that. And, of course, I started to judge it and put it in these pockets and these categories and all that. But I had learned early on in sobriety to don't judge anything, man. You're not the judge. Somebody else is the judge. So I never dreamed that Scatman would be on the top 10 or top 20 of any country anywhere, And 5th week, 6th week, it entered the charts in Germany. It was number 90-something. And I flipped out. I says, you mean I am on a chart as a pop star? I says, oh, man, it's not going to get any better than this. Can't get any better. 7th week, 8th week, number 60. I says, oh man, it can't get any better than this. Number 40. Can't get, oh, this is it. Then it went into the top 20 and I couldn't believe it. Top 10, top 5. It stayed at number 2 for like 10 weeks, something like that. I don't know the exact amount of weeks. It was only, it didn't go into number 1 because at that time, Chariots of Fire by Vangelis was dominating the charts everywhere because of some picture, I think, that had come out, which I haven't seen. So it stayed there, and my God, all of a sudden it went gold. All of a sudden it went platinum. Other countries began to perk their ears up. We decided to go in and do the album, which came out. And I mean, I'm just sitting watching all of this happen. I mean, I'm 53 years old. I mean, I don't take the fame or anything too seriously. I mean, it isn't important for me to be Scatman, but it is important for me to try to communicate to the kids. That makes sense to me. Okay? So when the album came out, Japan's ears perked up. I mean, before that, let me back up. France perked their ears up. Scatman went number 1 there. Scatman went into number 1 in about 18 countries. I said, is this real? I said, is this real? And I started to wonder why. What is it about Scatman? What is it? And I still don't have a clear-cut, absolute answer yet. But the whole purpose of the song of Scatman, if you've noticed, if you've heard it, there's 3 verses that talk about stuttering. Now, you've heard me speak fairly fluent here, but let me tell you, Scatman can really stutter at times. The whole purpose of the song is to help people that stutter. The main punchline in the song is, if the Scatman can do it, so can you. Okay? So the album came out after the single going platinum and gold in umpteen countries all over the world. Unbelievable. The album came out and Japan loved it. The album, by the end of May in Japan, they project will have sold 2 million copies. I have a song on my album called Pop Star. Yeah, some of the listeners out there may have heard it. It is a takeoff on Pop Stars, and it is the corniest beat. It's got all these corniest sounds, and it really swings, man. And it's a takeoff on Pop Stars. Some of the words are, I take my fame as serious as any pop star can. I'm a leader and an icon and a revolution man. I've got gold-plated toilet tissue. Money never is an issue. I mean, I really get down on how serious some of the younger pop stars who don't know better take themselves. You know, I am really, really grateful. I think the word for me to come to the end of this interview, the word for me is gratitude. I am really grateful that creation has placed me in a place to be able to reach the children of all ages, but the children, people who are still capable of hearing, people who are confused about where does one go in today's crazy world with the bombs and the ozone and the trees and the oil being taken out of the earth. What is one to do? You know, so the whole purpose of the Scatman project is a positive one. It's to put out something positive to people. I don't think the answer to the world's problems today are killing a cop. I don't think some of the music today as artists, and I speak to us artists out there, is as positive as it could be. You know, you can call it art. Good for you. I don't believe that. I think it's a responsibility of the artist of any age to try to put out whatever insight they've acquired in their life out to the people. The world is in utter chaos. We don't need to add more chaos. Times are changing. I am grateful to be Scatman, and I'm grateful to be alive today, sitting here talking to you, because let me reassure you, I'm a walking, breathing miracle. Having come from the past where I came from, I guess God was saving me for something special, and I think that this is probably it. I'm very, very grateful, and I'll be here as Scatman for as long as the kids need me. I'll be here.